shit show that is the Kiefcast, episode 33. And you might be thinking, by reading the title of this podcast, Persona 5 Royal is coming out for other platforms. And you might be thinking, that's probably a good thing, right? Well, as it turns out, and I'm going to let my esteemed co-host say her grievances towards Atlus. We had a couple of days to process this because, well, we didn't think Atlus would fall prey like other companies would, but unfortunately, they are no longer the exceptions. They're no longer the golden child of, our favorite companies. They've more or less, as you read the title, had poor timing in the release of Royal. Well, pre-orders, that is. I don't know how the freak they're going to handle the actual release date, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Kasumi, do you want to say your testimony against Atlus right now? I'll let you take over the conversation.
I don't have good words to say about Atlus. The whole pre-order experience, for me, it's just a nightmare. Wednesday, when they released the information and you were able to pre-order the digital collection, not digital collection, it's the digital version and the one more collector's edition. You could not pre-order the standard edition on Wednesday, even though there was an option for it. So Tuesday rolls around. Still no update about that. Why did you wait until Friday to let people order the standard edition on your website?
I don't understand that. It's like, what's the point of releasing a special edition when... What's the point of making it like Sino release or Sino whatever the fuck? Like Sino marketing, I don't know how you call it, release, whatever it is. When they have the collector's edition, the collector's edition naturally has, presumably, the true game inside of it. So it's like, what is the point of, holding that off? Like, I agree with that. Do you have any thoughts on that, Kaizuko? Or Nahobino? On Atlus's poor timing of this matter?
Yes, the way I see it is that they definitely could have communicated this issue much better. Like, to announce one special edition and a whole other version. It's like I can understand them when they give people multiple versions when it comes to this needlessly greedy, being executed.
Yeah, they definitely handle this really poorly. I mean, I remember when I pre-ordered Royal, this was like when it first came out, like when it was first conceptualized, when it was ready to be, the pre-orders were ready. This was like, I remember, literally a month before 2020, literally right around November-ish or so. The Phantom Thief edition for the PS4 was at least $89. I checked last night just to make sure, confirm everything, and it was at least under $100 when I got that edition of the game. Now it is over $200 when I checked as of the stream as recording the stream. So essentially, if you're a PlayStation 4 owner and if you've never played Persona 5 Royal, well, you have a chance to get it for cheap now because they often go on discounts. But for everybody else that is going to play Persona 5 Royal presumably for the first time, I think you guys unfortunately have the short end of the stick, and unfortunately Kasumi would have been one of them, but she's opting to get the digital version, right? Because of that?
Yeah, I pre-ordered the digital version today. Fact is, it was around 4 or 5 when I did it. But yeah, it sucks because I was told that there was not going to be a collector's edition, if there was, I was hoping it to be like the one from Persona 4, PlayStation 4. I get those mixed up.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, why doesn't everybody else get a Phantom Thief edition? Why do they have to get a specific other type of, like, one more collector's edition? I don't get it. I really don't. It's like, what the freak, Atlus? Oh yeah, this is, man, you have to change your name a lot. I'm just gonna call you, what do I call you? Zawardo. Okay, yeah. So this is this is like our new friend Zawardo. Known for quite some time. I'm not sure if you specifically if I may ask, did you play Persona 5 Royal the original in the past, and if so, if this is like your first time getting Royal, are you gonna get the new version that's coming out? I mean, I won't say new version, but like the re-release of the game that's coming out for other platforms. If this makes sense.
I heard that they were eating.
Lunch break. Okay, right. So we'll wait for them to answer that. Okay, so in regards to Royal, whoever can answer, what would you say? Okay, I guess counting from Soul Hackers 2, like, what would you say Atlus has done right in the past, let's say, give or take, couple years versus what they're doing now? Like, what do you think, what do you think they could probably perhaps take into consideration if maybe someone from Atlus PR were to come across this stream, or, anyone that's critiquing them for their, I guess, sloppy marketing campaigns for the games that they're advertising. Yeah, good.
Royal is getting pushed on all the platforms. I keep on seeing ads for it everywhere. So it's not the marketing team this time. It's just Atlus being stupid until like 5 weeks before the game gets released.
Yeah. I think it is just sad that they didn't push this hard for Soul Hackers 2. They really didn't. And to be honest, I heard about it kind of late about pre-orders, and then I pre-ordered whenever I could, and it's like, they didn't really push for it, right, Kazuko? Or Kasumi?
No, they really did not. Not like they did not like what they're doing with Royal right now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. What do you think, Nahomino? Do you think the way they advertise for SMT5, the way they advertise for even Nocturne, and the way they're advertising for, like, it seems like, and I get it, Persona 5 Royals, their current money maker game, it is without a doubt one of their best sellers. But it's like, where does that leave Soul Hackers 2? Where does that leave the future of supposedly the Devil Summoner series? Like, probably not. Yeah, good.
Also thinking about it, they didn't really push SMT5 either.
I mean, they did advertise a lot of the demons that were going to come out, but from what I've played, I'm not getting into spoilers, but for those that haven't played it yet, but it's like, it's still a little bit to be desired, even though it felt like a complete game.
I haven't finished it yet, so I wouldn't know.
Alright. We'll wait for Kaizuko or the others to say their piece on that. But, okay, so let's switch things to a little bit more positive. So, You, Kasumi, what are some positive things that are you truly looking forward to when it comes to Royal? Like, what were some things that maybe you watched walkthrough, maybe you watched some advertisement, maybe you heard from like word of mouth? Like, what are some things that you expect you that you want from Royal, or that you expect from Royal, I should say?
Well, from what I've seen with some walkthroughs, the third semester looks pretty cool. But how you get the third semester is pretty stupid. Um, Probably the new confidence I'm also looking forward to doing. And since I did play the original, there's not much I'm looking forward to. It's just the confidence, the extra story, the new items, apparently the new DLC with Royal that I didn't get yet.
There's definitely a lot of quality of life changes for the game as well. Especially when you're traversing from mementos is not much of a drag anymore.
I just did it one shot. I do mementos in one shot.
Yeah,
And
they add a bit
vanilla.
they add a bit of layer to it as well, because well, you already know by watching a little bit of my walkthroughs of the new game plus, but Joker has a grappling hook, and there are some spots in the dungeons and the palaces where only Joker can traverse with his grappling hook. So it's like that's one kind of added change they have for the game. What do you? Did you think? Did you think that was something that's like kind of like kind of fits? I mean, of course it fits like Joker because they also introduced that in Smash Brothers, but like.
Well, they had it in the concept art, in a page of the concept art, where Joker was climbing on one of the buildings with a rope in hand. From what I remember, I haven't seen the concept art book since I have that as a PDF in a while.
Yeah. Well, any thoughts about this so far, Kaizuko? You're being kind of eerily quiet so far. I just want to make sure you get a chance to say something.
Well, I was about to say that as far as the quality of life changes, they definitely were really necessary changes. I like how they really went out of their way to make sure it could fit on the Switch with what little they have. Like, it definitely has the content, all the DLC, just that it's downgraded to a 720 resolution as opposed to 1080p. It'll pull it off.
Yeah. I think that was the price that you have to pay because, well, the Switch can go that much, and I've never doubted for a second that Persona 5 Royal wouldn't be able to run on Switch. I've always believed that it could. In fact, it was memed to death that it was, and to the point where a certain Goomba Twitter user was raving about getting the damn game into the fucking Switch. And then he finally got his wish.
There's no doubt it's going to sell well.
Yeah. It's just that Atlus somehow botched the timing of the release, or the pre-orders, I should say. And I don't know. I guess we can just the reason for this podcast topic episode is like we're gonna hold Atlus a little bit accountable, and hopefully they they're not, probably not, but
I want to know if the rumors are true that they're only selling 300 units for each. 300 copies of the game for for each unit that it's being released on.
300 is a little
Besides
low. I don't know if 300 is enough. I saw from Xbox that it's like 3,000 something, but maybe I could be wrong. Like, no, there's no doubt that Royal is gonna really sell well. Obviously, it's been proven on the PS4, and it's, you know, what's also been proven. It's like, how Steam, like when Persona 4 Golden was announced, and in one day I believe they got a lot of good sales for Golden alone. So it's like the Persona brand is obviously gonna sell, without a doubt. But my thing is, for Atlus themselves, will that be enough? Like, what are they gonna really do to capitalize this success? Like, I know this whole thing about the 25th anniversary of Persona, like, in turn, like, okay, so what's the next step? If this is like this is like part for the 25th anniversary, like, that's what I'm wondering. Hey, Lobster, by the way.
Never mind, it was 3,000. I kind of forgot. Remember, dyslexia is a bitch.
I was like, yeah, I was thinking like 300 is a little bit too. They will be like.
But yeah, they're doing that for every system. So people who want to pre-order it, I would suggest you pre-order it now, because they're not. Soon as those physical copies are sold, there's not going to be any more printings of them. That's why I decided to get it digitally as well, so I know I can get the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it. Sorry about that. Mom called me for watermelon. All right.
So we got that out of the way. So I guess since we're talking and we're kind of leaning towards the 25th anniversary, what are some other things that Atlus could do for the 25th anniversary when it's still in effect? Like, yes, it's nice to get ports, it's nice to get re-releases, and the looming Persona 6 is probably around the horizon, or maybe a teaser if it is. What is something that they could freaking do that's probably new, that probably hasn't been thought about before, that hasn't been conceived before in the Persona brand?
Besides the fighting game, probably a sim. You know what's funny? Dating sim. I want them to release one of them. Not just in Japan, but everywhere else. There was one that was released for mobile, but they shut that down like 2 weeks. It was only for Japanese users. A dating sim would be nice. And that's never thought about, though.
I mean,
But
not counting the dating sim feature and 5, but like, you mean something that's serious towards
like,
that, right?
yeah, like, I don't know what genre they're called. I just know them are dating sim games.
I mean, Persona series is like a dating sim RPG kind of puzzle solving all in one.
It's completely based off of dating.
So do you want them to really focus on that? You want them to focus on the social aspect of the games, like,
yeah, and not just with the female characters, as the male characters as well. So you pick a certain character that you want to be, or you make your own, and
So, character creation. Yeah, I don't think that's ever been done in Persona before. I mean, personally, simply, I wanted to release another fighting game. Like, they did it for Persona 4 two times already. And it's like, Persona 5 has enough cast to do one now. Especially if we count Strikers and then Cosmo Royal. Like, they have enough characters to do one. If we also combine the cast from 3 and 4. And then even more, like, wow, like maybe even 1 and 2, which that's going to break all reality of the fandom. Right there. even suggesting that. Does anyone else want to chime in their suggestions though for Atlus?
I think an anniversary crossover between like all of Megaten as a whole would be nice. Like, I don't believe it's ever been done before. They always been their separate thing, but they do a crossover featuring primarily Persona, Mainline, or even any of the other spin-offs like Devil Summoner, the digital Devil Summoner will be quite the thing to do.
I see. What about you, Lobster? Any ideas for Atlus, if any? Okay. A Truvian. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I would love to date Kasumi for the 30th time already. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, no. I take it back. Because I'm going to date her again in New Game Plus. What I want to do is, I want to date FemMC. Which means I'll probably have to be Akihiko or Shinjiro. One of her confidants that she dates. So it's like, there should be like one where, some wacky one where you're the protagonist, like it's your perspective as the player, except you date the protagonist. Wouldn't that be interesting? Like you dating Joker, you dating Makoto Yuki, you dating FemMC, you dating like the main characters, and it's like instead of like, you know, you're the silent protagonist, and then they're the ones that talk, and then you try to like sort of get to know the protagonist from your point of view. I don't know. I'm thinking of ideas like if we're doing a VN sort of thing.
Yeah.
Please remake the animation. It sucks, and our new. Yeah, I think that'd be another way to celebrate 25th anniversary of Persona. Like, okay, so like, assuming they do like a royal anime, obviously they can't use the same studio, right? There should be another studio because
memes came from there.
Imagine Studio Dean picks up. No, I'm just kidding. No, we don't want the Fate Stay Night memes on that.
But yeah, a royal anime with seeing Kasumi's like fine, you know, body gestures would be just amazing. I'd be okay. I'd be all over that.
If they get the exact same studio, I would probably get mad and not watch it because I've already watched the Persona 5 animation 3 times. Not just once. 3 times. It's the quickest
it's like
reference
you get to
I
like
can do for material.
if you get to Kasumi's confidant and watch, they're gonna skip over like the good parts of it because they didn't want to spend the money.
Probably. Which sucks.
By the way, if you want to buy the DVD set of freaking the animation, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg just to get the entire anime in a box set.
Here, have my kidney, even though I need it. I'm not wasting any more money on Atlus after Royal comes out. Well, I still want to get Persona 4 Golden. I still want to get Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah,
After that,
this is what I'm doing.
no more.
I'm not buying anything that's not mainline, unless everything's gonna be like, unless it's connected to the games that I like Persona 5. I am not gonna give it a time of day because because Atlus, man, Atlus is, I don't think they're doing enough in general.
If they botch Persona 6, I'm gonna get pissed.
What day is the Persona concert again?
I don't know what day, but it's sometime next month. Let me double check actually. Persona concert.
Of course, YouTube won't tell me then.
Okay, according to this, March 8th and then March 9th of next month. So it's literally more than a couple weeks away.
I'd say keep an eye on that, just in case there's an announcement of any kind. Still lower your expectations, but if Persona 6 do get announced, it could be very huge.
So, if we're going to shift to that topic, and I think I've already asked about this like in numerous other episodes and video topics, but give me like a Clip Notes version of what you want in Persona 6. Like, imagine you're the one that's the production designer, you're the creator. Sell it to me. How can you make Persona 6 go?
I want the protagonist to be a blank slate so you can make them your own representation. Like a girl, boy, trans. You can also have multiple dating options as well. That's what I least want to see because of the sheer fact of how this world is right now. Plus, I want them to also implement C19 into the game. That would probably be the three things that I want to see. Is my mic fucking up again?
Oh, no. I'm listening. I'm just giving out the links to the stream, just in case you guys want to rate or whatever. Yeah, I agree with that. I think more customization in general would be really good. But then that would mean, how would that play into effect in future titles? Like, if we ever get like a Q series, if the characters like custom your own creation, that's gonna
customize your Q2 character. It's not that hard. Skyrim did.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe it's like, man, like imagine we get the concept of Q series, but it's like the characters legitimately meet. Why just limit it to just 3, 4, and 5? Why not just reintroduce the cast of 1 and 2? Because people can say what people can say. Yeah, the games arguably don't age well. I agree. Well, to some perspectives, but it's like, without those games, none of this would exist. You can't.
Yeah, Persona 1 and 2 does need to get remastered. 100%.
Hey, let's have a guess on the type of genre Persona 6 will use. Well, what do we have? 5 has jazz and like J-pop, and then P4 has like J-pop, and then P5 has fucking Lotus Juice and amazing rapper and shit. I don't know. They should rehire Lotus Juice and then make it like death metal. I don't know. that's just my guess.
I see with the current world right now, it's going to be a lot of rap, probably a lot of hip hop, or God forbid, J-pop.
I mean, they've already done J-pop in 4 and a little bit of 3. Maybe they do disco.
But-
They do disco.
But I'm talking hardcore J-pop, not J-pop. And Korean pop. Or Korean pop, since that's actually popular.
You know what's funny? There's actually a Korean song named Persona, I believe, right? I remember like I looked it up, and then when I heard
that might be in Royal, and I do know there is a Korean soundtrack in Royal. I just need to find the name of it since I have 3, 4, and 5 on my phone. Soundtrack, but
back to the classicals 1 and 2.
I do want them to remaster Persona 1 and 2 because that's where it all started. At least change the mechanics of the game at least to fit it.
And if I remember, they already did a poll asking what games you want to be remastered, at least from the Steel game. Obviously, 3 and 4 came on top, but definitely Persona 1 are like in the lower top 10. It really pretty much shows that not that many people give 1 or 2 the time of day when it actually they need it the most.
Yeah, I feel like pushing Persona 5 is a blessing and curse. You push it enough, and I know this is using Persona 5 like logic, that's like it pushes into the cognition of other people. Like, we got a lot of crosses for the game. Like, it's in a Nier incarnate. It was in like freaking Final Fantasy Brave Fantasy or something like that. It was in I think Fantasy Star. It's like, what's next? Tales of the Rays or Tales of Arise, and you never know with Atlus. Like, they tend to know they tend to reach to all sorts of people. Although it's good to know that even Sakurai, Mr. Masahiro Sakurai, is a fan of Persona as well. So I respect them for that at least.
Yeah, I really would like them to remaster 1 and 2 because that's where it started. I don't care that Persona 5 is what made this series okay. What made the series somewhat popular into people's cognition was 4. 5 just exploded that cognition. So, people need to remember on where the series came from, and that's what an anniversary should be about. Not about this merch up the butt with stuff that you don't need.
Although I do appreciate the dresses that FemMC wears. She looks really cute in a lot of them, but man, like, okay, it's nice to see them dress up and stuff and for your promotional items, but it's like, what else are you going to release that's new? Like, okay, it's nice to have these concerts. It's probably good to have these news, but it's like, what else is in the horizon? That's like, I don't know how it is with Atlus, like, but sometimes they keep these things tight-lid, and it's like, by the time we find out, it might be like something not even that exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Although,
Like, who has a vinyl player around with vinyls? I sure don't. I'm not that old.
it's like, these things are nice, but it's like, if you live in Japan, that's going to be something you're going to enjoy more. Like, unfortunately, bless my brother that lives and commutes there and works there, but it's like, unless I somehow teleport to Japan, I'm not going to be able to like enjoy even half the things that they offer, like the merch or the cafes or any of that stuff. Like, and occasionally maybe they have something of that in anime conventions, but it's like, that's assuming that we have the time and money to go to these places.
Yeah, and also if you buy anything off of their, I don't know if it's a Japanese website, you also have to worry about shipping costs too. It's a lot of money that goes into buying those items. I get it, but us Westerners don't want that stuff. We want to see remakes of the old games. We want to see other things other than 5 games pushed in our faces. Because crossovers are nice and all, but it's too many. Joker, the Persona 5 in general, has too many crossovers.
Yeah. Like,
and I thought
and it's like,
4 was
okay,
bad.
it's cool. It's like, it's cool that I read a fan fiction. Like, now it's like, it seems like I don't even have to read a fan fiction of it. It sometimes might already happen. So
Yeah.
it gets me to be like, I'm curious to see where they're gonna land next in terms of crossovers. I'm very curious, but at the same time, I'm a little bit worried because it's like people, not everybody's gonna appreciate it, and I don't blame them if they don't, because. But I'll just say this, and I think Tessa has, Kasumi has like implied this once. If Persona 5 cast, even like Joker happens to be a skin in Fortnite, I will, yes, play Fortnite, if that's the case. That would actually get me to fucking play the game.
I'll only play it for 1 hour, get bored, and then go to something else. But I'll at least play the game for an hour. But, it gives me a reason to try Fortnite. I never had a reason to download Fortnite. And it's also a huge thing it's a huge memory space on the Switch. So that's why I haven't downloaded it either. Because I don't have room.
Yeah. I am not wasting that on my PS5 unless they have something that entice me. I might actually try out the Nier Gacha game though. Just because, yeah, I'm getting to Nier Replicant, I'm getting into Nier Automata. So I may as well, since that's probably going to be the new thing that I play and try out besides the Atlus games. Okay.
Speaking of crossover, how would you feel if for some reason the fans would be for Joker during here for saying so nice? Overjoyed or annoyed?
For what now?
I would probably get annoyed.
For which one? I didn't catch that.
But if Joker works with here and it's nice to take cameo.
A cameo in what? Sorry.
In Persona 6.
It depends. It depends how they execute that, because 1 and 2 characters kind of cameo with each other, I believe. So it really depends on how they handle it. It really, really has to depend on that, because let me just put it this way: 5 didn't need to depend on 4, and granted, in 4, you do visit the campus of Persona 3. So it goes back to what I just said. It depends on how they execute that. So, for example, if the Persona 6, let's just assume, I guess, it's going to be in high school again, or maybe in college or something, and then they took the cast takes the trip to Shuninji Academy, then it's like, may or may not see the cast. So it just highly depends on how they handle that.
I could see Joker not being there because he should be canonly back home in his hometown. Oh God, please don't do that.
What?
No,
What? Do what?
if it's in Joker's hometown, I'm going to say no. I'm done. If Persona 6 is gonna be like that,
That's like,
Suddenly, Joker's like the mentor of the.
I've given up Atlas at that point. It's like a bad drug.
It's like Joker's like Luke Skywalker. Be like, that's.
I don't want a Star Wars reference in Persona. I've already watched all the movies. I've dealt with the fans.
I mean, I say that because Luke was the the master of the new. But that's not here or there. We're not talk about Star Wars. But although I will, okay, I will kind of take this from a YouTuber I follow by the name of Feather. You guys might have heard of him. He brought up a very interesting idea in one of his videos, which was time travel in Persona. So, how would you feel if it's not just one setting in Persona 6? How would you feel is like there's probably multiple, like past, present, future? Do you think
Doctor Who, right there.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, Doctor Who reference. If they do time travel, they need to put a Doctor Who reference.
And I think
That's what I execution.
Yeah, it's all about the execution. Like, also, I think the color. I just can't imagine it not being green as the next color, because we already got all the primary colors. We even got purple from Persona 1. We already got kind of reddish orange for 2. I think green is the obvious choice for the next one, unless they want to go like white or something, which is like, I like the color white for other reasons, but I'm gonna leave it there. And on that same note, this is kind of a generic question. What's everybody's favorite color, by the way? Everybody in this, BC.
Mine is red, white, and black. So, mine are out.
What about you, Casco?
Green, blue, or I guess a little bit of black.
What about you, Lobster? If they want rainbow, I bet we will have Personas. For the next Persona, it's going to be a Skittles commercial.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Persona, this is a question that's definitely. How would you feel if the majority of the new demons introduced and are still whatever?
Dude, I would be ecstatic if they had Emma Nazaku in there. They even had like Tao in there for DLC. Sign me the F up. She's gonna be. I'm gonna equip that to the protagonist.
Yeah, the any of the story relevant demons are definite lock. The others are really difficult.
No. What they're gonna do is they're gonna add Yoshitsune under a paywall. That's gonna actually make you pissed, though.
Yeah, which raised the question of if Atlus will, take a step back and think about if they're going to function as DLC. Hey,
yeah, and that's another thing. Atlus, listen to me. Listen to us. Stop it with the day one DLC. Stop it. Stop it. I know you guys want money, but not this way. And for the love of God, for the love of all things that's whatever deity that you pray to, don't you freaking lock a DLC under a freaking digital pre-order ever again. Or at the very least, provide a freaking digital code so we can freaking download. Please, for the love of all things holy, or for the love of all things chaotic and law route and neutral route, like, please don't do that again. I'm begging you. Okay, good.
I get that's a Japanese thing, but here in the West, we do not like paying extra for DLC. less if it's really important and it's cheap.
Or make it a season pass that release periodically. You know,
Yeah.
like how all their games handle.
Yes.
I love season passes. That's literally our equivalent to their DLC.
And you know, this may not hurt. This may not hurt you, but maybe. All right, no, I was gonna say multiplayer, but no, that's pushing it. But
they're never gonna make their games multiplayer.
that's like Tales of series. Tales of series.
Unless if they make a fighting game.
Or make it a certain mode where you can actually gather a certain demon's team and fight others. Kind of like how Pokemon.
Yeah, like I think they're gonna streamline the process of negotiating with demon/personas. 5 alone, they already streamlined it, but I think with 6, they're gonna streamline it even more. So, for example, Yoshitsune, you know how he's all kind of locked under, Arcana and all that stuff, and a little bit of requirements. He's gonna be super easy to get in by the next game. In fact, in SMT5, he's super easy to get on that one. And then in Soul Hackers, it took a little bit, but I was able to get him on my first run at least. But he kind of sucks on that one.
Because I helped you. Yeah. Hopefully, Atlus is not locked behind a paywall. I'm pissed.
With Kasumi's help. But yeah, it's
They didn't have a special move in Soul Hackers 2.
They don't have instant kill moves in Soul Hackers. I realized that when I looked at the Pats game.
Persona 7 Pink, they technically kind of do with Portable, though. But you want that to be the official color? Does that mean FemMC is going to be the main? Just imagine.
It's got to be a lighter pink than FMMC if it's going to be a different protagonist.
Yeah, it's like, we need someone like Ringo. Someone that's like Ringo-esque to be like okay, it's like the real question is how are they gonna top Joker as protagonist? That if Persona 6 is meant to be a sequel, it's meant to maybe surpass Persona 5. The question I had for the Atlus creators, how are you gonna top it? How are you gonna surpass Persona 5's success?
They can't. They probably won't be able to, especially what they're doing now.
That's what I.
Sorry. Persona 5 was like the golden egg of everything for Atlus.
But that's not to say that not has flaws. Like, they have some good rhythm moments, but let's not forget they did have their fair share of flukes. Like, remember how they treated Ryuji as in beating him up over him saving them? At one point, everyone agreed that was like the worst rhythm.
My roommate keeps on glitching the game. Like, yeah, I get that there's flaws with Persona 5. There really is. But the success from Persona 5, they won't be able to top that or replicate that unless if they actually do better than what they have been doing.
For one thing, didn't the original creator of the one that's in charge of the new trilogy kind of is doing his own thing, or is like not a part of this anymore? Didn't he leave after?
I think he did leave. Or it was the sound designer.
So it's like they're gonna probably get new people involved with 6. So it may be like with Tales of Arise, where it's like they do a completely new engine to make the game, and they also might hire might outsource some people that have made other games in the past, maybe incorporate. That would actually kind of worry me, but it just depends on how execution matters the most. like you can have a grand old idea, beautiful ideas, but it's like unless it's executed like in a great way, that remains to be seen. So
Like I told people, Persona 5 was a good stopping point. Sort of like on Smash Brothers. Ultimate was a good stopping point. They need to work on a niche series like the Devil Summoner or the SMT games. More. Especially the SMT games, because that's their main line of games. That's their first baby.
I mean, without SMT, we wouldn't get Persona.
Yep.
So, for that matter, I hope they. I don't know if Atlus has a chance, maybe not redo SMT5, but like make a sequel or expansion, just like with 4 Apocalypse. But I don't know. It really depends on how they want to do this, how they're going to move forward. Like, we can give all the suggestions we want, but it's like it's up to whoever's currently the head of Atlus to really make the difference. Whoever's freaking, seeing gauging. Yeah.
Whoever's the current CEO of Atlus, just burn down your building. You made some incredible games. You have some incredible games underneath. Just retire the company, and then come back in a year or two, and start back up. That's what I would suggest. Because Persona 5, then SMT, then Soul Hacker. Soul Hacker looks like they were overworked with Persona 5, then Royal, then SMT5 being on what it is. Soul Hacker is probably they overworked themselves, so that's why Soul Hacker looks so bad.
Alright, so if anyone's in the chat that's listening that probably heard of Persona or played it, like, what would be your suggestion to Atlus? Like how would you guys, that's probably in the chat, like, find a way to, like, more or less, I don't know, what would you want from Atlus in terms of, like, either the Persona series, SMT series, like, or let me just change the question for a bit, like, what are some series from Atlus that probably deserves a bit more recognition? Yeah, we got Devil Summoner. Yeah, we got Persona SMT. Like, maybe like something like, I don't know, Trauma Center. That's, believe it or not, that was actually this game series that I'd known of Atlus, even before Persona, because I actually had it on the 3D, on the DS before. So.
No, I wasn't really a big gamer growing up, so, and I know Atlus has a bunch of games underneath them, but a lot of them are just racing games in general, that we haven't mentioned.
What about
you?
you?
Want to go way back? Snowboard. That's a real game name.
Yeah, like, even like beyond Persona, what are some other sort of like, not just game franchise, what are some creative like stuff, what are some stuff they can probably explore that they haven't, has been done? Okay, we got Catherine for the puzzle solving. We got Trauma Center for like the surgeon, simulator. We got Persona for like, we know. We got SMT for like the demons. We got Devil Summoner for like, spiritual investigations and stuff.
Really would like them to try their hand on the racing game.
Although I heard that 13 Sentinels is pretty good, and it's like in part with Atlus, right? Does anyone want to vouch for that?
I don't have it yet, but I do have a friend that did say it's definitely one of their better non-Persona PCs.
Yeah.
And I guess this will be like a question I think I might have asked before, but what are some things from Atlus role playing games? I guess a lot of them are very unique from each other, but like, what are some things that from other role playing games that you guys may have played that Atlus can probably get inspired from? Like, I don't know, whether that be Xenoblade or Tales or Nier or like Dragon Quest or like, you know, what are some things that those other role playing games have done better than Atlus that maybe Atlus can probably take notes from?
Well, I know people uh, con- keep on complaining about the battle system. How it's, I think it's the battle system. There's something wrong with it.
I do like press turn, but it's like exploiting the enemy's weakness and like taking an extra turn. It's really good. It's just it's not exactly streamlined, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Any thoughts, Kai? Lobster? I don't know.
I think they could think about revamping the gameplay a little. Like, if they want to try some new ideas. Like, you can tell with 5 they really thought about doing some new stuff, like with the essences or the special moves, which is how miracles work. But that only pertains to them. As far as Persona and what they can do, it really depends on what they can that really improves on everything that I've played.
I think another thing. I just hope. I guess for the hardcore players, they make the level design a little bit better and not maybe either make it so that it's not as confusing to navigate without a guide in some cases, and where it's not too simple. I think the problem with Soul Hackers 2, and Kasumi can vouch for me, that the mapping is way too oversimplified, to be honest. To the point where sometimes it gets a little bit confusing from time to time.
Yeah. I could fall asleep with him going through that. I actually did fall asleep twice when he went through the puzzles. It was too simple.
It's not even. I wouldn't even consider that as a puzzle. It's like a maze that took a bit. It's like Okamura Palace a little bit. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Atlus, at least they can deliver when they can, but at worst, like they're not consistent. I feel like from time to time they've kind of been lacking consistency lately in terms of their successes.
That's definitely true. Like, you can tell they definitely experimented with the idea of an open world, like level design, with the case of 5 and how it has less traditional dungeons than previous games, which are very dungeon heavy.
Yeah, like, take a look at, like, Square Enix. Like, I will even admit, Square, let's say Final Fantasy 14 community, like, they go above and beyond, and it's like, Atlus, I feel like they tend to stick to what's safe. Safety mode, but, like, they don't go, like, deep enough. Like, and I know, like, Atlus has probably explored, like, MMOs in the past with, like, other things, but, like, maybe they might want to push that route if their franchises get a little bit too big and they want to make more money. But it depends if they can leverage that. They're not Square Enix. They're not. I hope they're definitely not Bamco, where Bamco have a lot of flops with their like gacha products with the Tales series. So it just really depends.
They're a small company, but not too small at the same time. It's very clear that they get funded pretty well from their owners, say.
Yeah. So I guess to Atlus and an extension Sega, I guess any final thoughts? Like, what should Atlus consider in terms of like making a quality product? Like, what should they take note of from everything that's happened, at least in the past couple of months? Anyone can answer that, and then we'll wrap up in a little bit.
Better beta testing your games and stop with the day one DLC.
Have more consistent level design, definitely, whether they're dungeons or free run. And if you want to have demons, you got all the 3D mods you can use. And there's no harm in delaying the game if it means recreate all demons in 3D for the first time.
I would say, like,
Assuming the other people don't want to answer first in chat or whatever, but I'd say for Atlus, they have a lot of variety. I feel like they tend to put in what we think, and I appreciate them doing the survey, so at least they gauge. I think they need someone that engages with them faster. Why don't they have someone actually look at their Twitter or Facebook, for example? So it's like anytime they want feedback, they could have it right there. It's like, okay, say like an Atlus PR person is running like their Twitter page. Maybe say something around the lines of, oh, what would you want in a Persona 6? Like a simple question like that. Because in a survey, okay, they're going to survey a lot of 500, 300, 400 people, right? Give or take. They could just only guesstimate what we want. But if they actually ask something on like a social media website, I feel like they could really gauge it even faster. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, I feel like with Atlus, they're sometimes tone deaf. They don't really, whatever they push in, it's like, it's not what we need, and they sort of fall flat. So, I would say I love Atlus, but at the same time, if things keep going the way they do, I may not support them as often. I may sort of just find something other more exciting to get into. Because if it's a damn shame, because I'm not taking this for granted. Persona 5 has garnered me a lot of like friends, you know, meeting different people, communities. I've definitely, it gave me a Smash main and everything. Even gave me like a girlfriend, but it's like anytime it's like I said, anytime I see a company do wrong, we can't just sit quiet and let them and then not say anything. At the very least, just like the people in the fan that are rooting for the Phantom Feeds before their fight against Yarobao or whatever, we're basically rooting for the Phantom Feeds. So it's like, what I'm trying to say is like, when there's something wrong, we have to call them out for it. That's just the bottom line. Even if it's like a company that we really respect and like, because this just goes to show.
Mm-hmm.
This just goes to show. No one corporation, no one company, no one person is perfect, and Atlus is definitely no exception to that.
Yep.
All right, so everybody here can like say their goodbyes first, and then I'll say mine, and we'll wrap up.
I don't have an intro, so bye.
All right, that's
Well,
for.
yeah.
All right, Yukai.
Well, it's been an honor, and we can hope that with all this time for the 25th anniversary for Atlus, it's really lessened and want to take the franchise in the direction it really needs, and not one that only benefits now.
All right. Lobster, is there anything you want to say or type in the Discord chat or the actual chat on Twitch that you want to say for Atlus? Any last minute suggestions or anything like that? I'm gonna assume he has nothing else to add. Alright, so then we have Zawar. Atlus BOD needs to retire. That's your show. Oh my god, Shala comes in clutch. Yeah, Atlus just needs, like, board of director needs to retire. I would agree.
Yep.
All right. What about you, Zawardo? Any do you think like, considering like your name, do you think Persona 6 is going to go through the route of like Star Oceans and JoJo? I'm just joking. It better not. But that might mean we might get a female protagonist after all if they're going to go that route with the JoJo sort of comparison. Oh, anyways, I guess that'll be it for the Kiefcast. Atlus, do better. Learn from this, and if you mess up again, we're gonna call you out for it again. We're gonna do this because we care. We're doing this because we care. Okay? We don't want you to fuck up. So, anyways, he's just gonna be on Dirty Demons, and I'll see you guys in the next Kiefcast. Whether they be special interviews, vlogs, live streams, rants, gushing about my favorite redheads, and then so much more. Anyways, see you guys later.